Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and this is my video about what's wrong with the Adam West Batman show, specifically the first two episodes from the first season. So I finished something, I forget what it was, and then it is, Fire Stick is recommending the next thing, and it recommended the Batman TV show, and I was like, what the hell? Like, I never liked that. In fact, I kind of actively hated it. Growing up in the 1970s, there was not a lot of live action superhero content. You had like the DC Universe roasts on like CBS or ABC or something like that. You had the Spider Man TV show, Incredible Hulk. But I remember, especially my parents' generation, they loved Adam West Batman. They thought it was so delightful, and he would always reappear in stupid things. And I just felt like he was making fun of the character. And it really bothered me as a kid because I took that stuff very seriously. And then in the late 80s, when they were going to revamp Batman with Michael Keaton, Adam West, like that was the mainstream understanding of Batman. It was Adam West. So people were actually legitimately confused. They're like, is this the son of Adam West Batman? And then Adam West was literally promoting himself to be in the movie as, quote, Uncle Batman. So anyway, it's a meme. Everyone's seen Adam West Batman, Family Guy, all that type of stuff. References in pop culture. But I actually went and I watched the first two episodes because I have a friend, he's a little bit older than me, but he talks about like he was the age to watch the shows when they came out. And he said for kids, it was a serious show. Like you took it seriously. So it's the one of the most interesting things is to watch old shows and movies and realize like what is a myth. Like there's this myth that number one, Adam West was fat, that he had a paunch. Absolutely not true. He is completely fit as a fiddle. He just has a very large belt, and he does not have a super developed chest. This was the '60s when everyone was like 160 pounds when they were 6 foot tall. You know what I mean? So they didn't have fat, but they also did not have a lot of muscle either. They were just kind of lean. So he's just a lean, fit guy with a very large belt, which kind of, I mean, whatever. Um, uh, so the other one is that there was never an origin. That was one of the things I always heard. It's like nobody ever explained why Batman was Batman. He was just Batman in the old show. No, he literally says, my parents were killed, by criminals. Now they don't dwell on it, but they establish it just fine. So it's an adventure with the Riddler, and I've got to say, I seriously think there is $1 billion waiting for Warner Brothers to do a new Batman movie in the style of Adam West Batman. I absolutely loved every single second of it. And yes, just as my friend pointed out, it was more high stakes than you remember. You just remember a bunch of silly fights and nobody dying, but like the Riddler's Moll, she falls into a freaking nuclear reactor and dies. So the plot is okay, whatever. It's Riddler pretends to be stealing something so Batman can, assault him to arrest him. But it turns out he was just handling his own legally owned property. So then he's set up to sue Batman, in which Batman will have to reveal his identity. Yes, it's very silly, but here's the interesting thing about camp. I always kind of misunderstood camp in that I thought camp meant you hated the thing you were talking about. Like if you did camp superheroes, you hated them. It's more of a duality thing. The people in the world take it very seriously. Adam West, Batman, is in a Gotham City where he's trying to protect lives. But it's silly when you see it from your perspective. So one of the things I gotta say is everything looks amazing. I mean, the Batman suit from the satin finish on the cowl to the woolen weight of the shirt to the belts, and they do the close up and it says Batarang. I never noticed on the top. There's a little clasp and then it'll say whatever's in there. And no, I don't think that the part of the bat utility belt was actually large enough. The Batarang, all these things belong in some sort of wing of the Smithsonian. Like it's a very pleasing show just on a visual level. Yes, the costumes look just like the comics, but there's just something neat. I mean, the car looks great. The Batcave looks great. All like everything just looks amazing. Here's another thing. Frank Gorshin is a revelation. Like one of the if you've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you know they do the bit where the guy who used to have his own show, he would be a guest star, and they would just kind of develop this character as they were shooting. There wasn't much in the script. There is so much in his performance. He's kind of a proto Joker where he's laughing all the time, but there is some real menace to him. And it's like I said, like you know, you're kind of watching it in two ways. You're watching it, you know, as the camp aspect of, you know, oh, isn't this very 1960s? But in the world where everyone is existing, that's why, you know, Burt Ward takes everything so seriously because he's in like this high stakes cops and robbers. People die every day in broad daylight in sunny California, which is Gotham City. And I gotta say, I literally loved every single second of it. That being said, I do understand why this wore out its welcome quite quickly. They do a bit where they have, you know, one episode and there's a cliffhanger and then they resolve it the next day when, you know, when it was originally broadcast. But none of these stories need to be 2 episodes. These are very simple stories. I think if they would have adjusted to just doing one episode per week, and, you know, maybe I don't remember from the other episodes I've seen, I don't remember a lot of stuff like, I think her name was Kitty, something like that. No, it wasn't Kitty, something. Yeah, she falls into a new, like that was pretty serious. Great stunts. Overall, it's just incredibly fun. I like the look, the feel, the tone of everything. And it was very interesting having not seen this in, you know, 30 years to realize what camp actually is. That you can basically watch something and enjoy it on two different levels. So, by the way, what's the deal with the bat pole? Is it supposed to be magic? I always assumed there was like a little alcove like halfway down. They would step onto that, change, and then step back. But if you want to believe it's magic, why not? Thanks for watching. Bye.